We may have different causes, but we are all here today for the same reason: to show our love, support, and appreciation for Shriners Hospital. We are here to give back and to help kids with orthopedic conditions, spinal cord injuries, and cleft lip and palate. We are also here to celebrate that thanks to the generosity of Shriners, our kids can defy the odds. Some of you may know all too well how suffocating and claustrophobic the office becomes when a team of medical professionals comes in to tell you there's something wrong with your child. Most of us have felt the heartache and tears, the unanswered questions, the constant nag of what if I had done something differently, or what could I have done differently, looming in the back of your mind. I also know, and I hope you do too, how great everything can be when love comes to the rescue. This is my family's story. In June 2008, we were expecting our second child. I went in for my routine ultrasound with our eldest daughter, Ashton, while my husband was at work. I was just beaming because I knew in my heart I was having another girl, and I couldn't wait to get home and brag that Daddy was now seriously outnumbered. The next few hours changed our lives forever as I learned that ultrasounds are for more than confirming due dates and the baby's gender. I also learned where the saying 10 fingers and 10 toes came from, as I was informed a blood clot stopped our baby's girl's arm from forming, and she was going to be born with one hand. You cannot imagine the shock that accompanies such news. I know now how silly it was, but at the time, it seemed like my world came crashing down. I was not scared of my child being different, and the word disabled never came to mind, but I feared other people's perceptions of her and the struggles she would face. As I mourned the loss of 5 tiny fingers, I cried as I thought about her having to someday wear her wedding band on her wrong finger. I wondered if she would be able to, or if we would still be able to ride ATVs as a family. That brought more tears when I worried she'd never be able to drive her own motorcycle like her mommy. I tried to figure out if she would even be able to tie her shoes. But the thing I feared most was I had to go home and tell all of this to my husband. That conversation went better than expected, and whether she had 5 fingers or 20, she was our little baby girl. She was healthy, alive, and she would be a perfect addition to our little family. In the coming weeks, I lived online, and I found a few groups whose members had children like ours, or were grown-ups like our little Taylor would be. They gave me the encouragement and even proof that she would be fine. When I spoke with TRS Prosthetics, the rest of my silly worries were put to rest when I saw their president, a lefty just like our little baby Taylor, riding his Harley. I then called our insurance company to find out who we could use to provide baby prosthetics. That phone call couldn't have gone much worse, as the rep informed me they don't cover prosthetics. I can't imagine being that woman when the day comes she has to tell that to a parent whose child needs a leg. A few days later, we finally received good news, and thanks to word of mouth, almost 200 miles away from me, a member of the Cora Shrine found my mother. Brian Scoff and Lady Lynette told us about the Shriners Hospitals, and Brian offered to sponsor Taylor for care. I was so excited for her and never dreamed it would get better. September 24th, Taylor was born, and she was perfect in every way. When we eventually snuck a peek at her little nubby, we noticed it had a smiley face and knew right then everything would be fine. We then made our first trip down to Springfield Shriners Hospital, and nothing could have really prepared me. When we stepped inside, we were beyond surprised. The staff eagerly awaits your arrival, and they look forward to making sure that your child's visit is more like a day at the park than to the doctor's. They have succeeded that trip and every one that followed. We always receive a warm welcome, and just about everyone knows us by name. Another great thing about the facility, more so now that she's getting older, is it gives her a chance to be around other kids like her. We look forward to her upper extremity clinic visits. She gets to see in person that she isn't alone, that other little boys and girls have nubbies, some have armies, some have leggies, and all of them are perfect just as she is. The kids love to compare their decorations and their different hands and feet, and to see the new technology at work is phenomenal. It's not uncommon to arrive and see a child utilizing some sort of new equipment or tool to help them walk. It's an amazing thing to see someone take their first steps, even more so when it has taken them years of surgeries to help them get there. Taylor received her first army when she was 4 months old, and it was love at first sight. She would get furious when I took it off for naps. There are random days when she doesn't want to wear it, but usually she's glued right to it. And as time progressed, all the fears I once had for her were completely replaced with joy. Nothing will ever slow this child down. The threat of losing our beloved Shriners Hospital that following spring in 2009 was not an option as far as I was concerned. I immediately set out on a mission to try and help prevent closing the hospitals by writing, talking, informing, walking, and collecting can tabs and monetary donations. Not just for Taylor, but for all the parents who've heard, we won't cover that. And for all the children who smile brighter after having their clefts repaired. And for all the children who just need a leg or two to stand on. Luckily, others stood up and fought for our hospitals too, and in the end, we all had our wishes granted. All Shriners hospitals would remain open. That was not the end for our family. We've continued to host our Shrine on Springfield Walkathon each year in Springfield, Vermont, and our Tabs for Taylor can collection has gone worldwide. And with the support of people like you, hopefully families will never face the threat of losing our Shriners hospitals again. I would like to thank the members of Melha, Mount Sinai, Cora, and Bektash Shrines for the extra love that they have shared with my family, and to extend my eternal thanks to the Shriners organization for all that they have done to help our daughter. And I want to thank every one of you who came out today. I hope you continue supporting this wonderful cause so that all the children who need help can experience love to the rescue.